my subscribers and guests of my channel. Welcome to Good Fairy Art channel. In this video I will be drawing Chinese lanterns in the vase. You can see the photo in the corner, and they are beautiful flowers, fall flowers, which I would like to draw. So I start with drawing the vase. I draw the top of the vase, just outline it, and then the place where it gets narrow, and then I just outline the bottom part of the bottle. I'm trying to draw like 3 lines over here. And I connect them at the bottom. So here you can see it's not really centered, so I will remove it and move it a little bit to the right. And then I connect it here. So here there is no line, so I just started from the middle. And here it goes like this. So I a little bit see the back of the bottle here, so I just add few lines here and one here. So here we have 3 branches of the flowers. So at the beginning I just add 3 of them to see the direction where they go, and then I will draw the shapes of each individual flower. They're kind of heart shape. At this point I don't draw the leaves yet, I'll add them later. So here it's like crowded flowers. One is at the back, I just put it here. And the last one. Okay, so now I will define the shape of each flower. Try to find how it looks like more deeply. And add some few lines of its structure. And some stems which they are hanging on. So as you see here, they are not really circles, they have some angles, so it's important to add them. So they have like kind of bag shape. And they have a few lines in the middle. So here there is like a little brown leaf. So I don't really know his shape, so I just add a few lines here. And here another crumpled leaf. So I add a few lines which represent it, and the leaves goes here as well. and then a stem, another stem, another heart shape. So I think there is one more I'm missing here, so I just add a, here is another flower but it's behind, so, and here another leaf and some crumpled end of the stick, so it's kind of leaf as well. So here, working on the second stem, another heart-shaped flower, going here, and very long leaf is here. And here. So the tip of the flower is a little bit pointy here. It's not really pointy, but make it look original and interesting if you add that. And here another dry leaf. And the last one with some kind of half leaf, half flower here. I don't know what is that. And another flower here. And this one a little bit at the back. And this one at the front. So I always draw the one at the front first and then the one at the back after. And some dry leaf here. Again, the shape is not really straight, so I probably will just add some details with watercolor. So now I just drawing it just to mark the place where it will be. And here you can see a little bit of the stamps inside the bottle. So there is one big one and few small ones, and some structure of the bottle. So I think the sketch is done, and I'm gonna move to coloring. So now I'm gonna start coloring my sketch. I usually draw on all over the page, so bear with me. I might draw the vase and then add a little bit to the flowers and go back to the vase, but I'll try to explain why I'm doing that. Usually it's because one side is drying, so I can work on another side. So the vase is blue and black, and it's actually a little bit green, but I'm gonna draw it more black and blue. So this is where I mix my colors. I already had some mixtures on my palette, but you can do a new one. So it's you mix blue and black, becomes kind of gray. And I start with watering the vase. So I'm putting like a big water strokes on it, and then add a little bit blue and black color. So when the water touches the paint, you can see like a nice splash here. This is what I'm trying to achieve. Not everywhere, you don't add too much of the paint because it will color all of your water place, but a few would be nice. So I'm drawing around the stems and around the edges of the bottle. So here, because I already painted dark, I need to soften it, so I'm adding some water here. And because my water starts drying, I have to add more of it. And then add a little bit more paint. So I have to move fast here because water dries quickly. So I have to use that ability of water to move the colors in the right direction. So you can see it's turning to blue, so I'm adding a little bit more black. So the bottom is a bit darker here because of the table, but I'm not drawing the table, so it can be actually light as well. Don't want to make it too dark, so it takes attention from the flowers. So here, unfortunately, my flower covered all the top of the bottle, so it doesn't really look like a bottle, but hopefully it will turn out okay. So now I'm outlining the lines, the edges of the bottle. With black. So for now, let it dry a little bit. So I'm gonna work on the stems of the flowers. So I'm gonna do them light brown at the beginning. So I didn't really shape them well, and now I'm just adding some blobs of color randomly, just to remember where they should be. And maybe it will be only partial color of the leaf. I will add some darker colors later. Here was like a long leaf, and this one. So the color I'm using is raw Sienna of QoR. But you can use any light brown color. So this one, I'm not sure if it's a leaf or a flower, so I just add brown just in case. And now I'm gonna add darker brown, which is raw umber. So I started with this one, so I'm going back to it. So when I add it, it mixes with the water I already had, so it makes a nice flow. So here the water is dry, so I don't have flow, so I'm adding some water. So I'm adding brown on the edges of the stem, so it's like a shade from the flower. And I'm trying to add some depth to the leaves, so I'm adding just a few lines on the leaves to represent its structure. It's like the leaf when it dries, like usually the tip is darker. So this is what I'm doing now. And edges as well. Here I have like a mixture of more reddish brown and brown, so I'm gonna use that. But if you need it, you can make your own mixture. It's good to use different variety of browns, so the picture looks more vibrant. Okay, so I think I'm done with brown, so I'm gonna start. Oh no, sorry, there is also brown stems inside the bottle. So I'm gonna go back to my Sienna color. So I don't really see where the line goes, so I'm just adding some blobs of raw sienna. And now I'm adding some dark brown, which is umber. And here it's too much, so I'm adding water here as well. So here I might have some reflection of that brown, so I'm gonna add some brown here as well. You don't really see it on the bottle, I'm just using my imagination to make this bottle more interesting. And I'll add some more black here as well. Okay. Here I have some dust which will take away. Okay, now I'm gonna color the flowers. Okay, now I will start coloring the flowers. So I will add some, I'll start with light parts of the flowers, which is, I pretend they are yellow, they are not really, but when they mix with red they might get darker, so I will add them to some of them to see how it goes when I mix it with red later. So it's like the place where the light touches the flowers, there will be, this is where I put yellow color. So there are different shades of yellow. My favorite is like lemon color yellow, which is cadmium and yellow primrose. So this is the one I like the most. I also have two other yellows which don't turn out that great. So this one, my box is almost, I mean my tube is almost empty. So this much how I use it. And I will also add it a little bit to the bottle so it reflects what's inside. Okay. And then I'm adding orange. This one is very clear. And I'm also adding more water here, so they are not too dark. And I'm trying to work quickly so my orange mixes with yellow well. I'm not focusing on details here. I'm just trying to cover big orange areas. here I add the most water, so they are almost transparent. Now I notice I forgot one flower here, so I'm gonna add it. And I think one was here as well. So now I'm going to darker shade of orange, which is a little bit brownish, but it's fine. We'll see how it goes. So I'll add it to only a few places. I'll try to add it at the top of each flower, so they will all look similarly. So this one, I just added a big blob. Now I remember this one is not actually a leaf, it's a flower, so I think I had some technical difficulties. My storage got full and I think it didn't record the light red I added here, so I will be using same technique to add it on other flowers, so you will understand how I did it. So it's very diluted. The color name is orange, transparent Pyrrole orange, but I call it red because it's more reddish. So I'm adding this color. I don't want to make it too dark red. And I'm also not adding it everywhere, so just to a few of them. Okay, and now I'm gonna add the darkest red I have, which is my favorite red. It's the name is, I believe it's Cadmium, yes. So I'm gonna start with the one I always start, the top one, because from as much as he is, others has to be darker because he is the most on the sun. So I'm going over the flower, so it mixes with all of the colors we already have. So it gets too dark, which I didn't plan it, but this is what it is. Maybe when it dries it will be lighter, so I will just add some water. This is the beauty of watercolor, you would never expect how it will turn out before you try. And I also have another palette where I have a mixture of different reds, so I'm gonna use a bit from here. You can see the color is completely different. And this is nice when you add some variety of colors. So I'm gonna mix this one with the ones I have. And add some water. So this one is a mix of brown, purple and red. I already have it from some other painting. Because I'm not really happy with pure red cadmium. So I'm adding this mixture I already had. And I'm mixing it with cadmium as well. So you can see I go over the flower shape, which is fine. Okay. And I will add some brown to the stem as well. And I'm gonna slightly touch the flower so it mixes with the flower. You can see it goes to the flower as well. Just a few lines on each stem. And some black here as well. So I'm gonna make the bottle darker too on this side. And I'm adding some black here because I already have it on my palette. And I'm gonna outline the bottle a little bit. Just adding some washes around. And maybe I'm gonna add some black here to outline the flowers as well.
Big thank you to everyone who watched my video. Who didn't subscribe, please subscribe. Write your comments, press likes. Press bell to be first to watch news of our channel. I wish you good mood, inspiration, and see you soon!